people will say, well, why do you talk about race so much from the Bible? And tongue in cheek, I'll say, well, because the Bible does. And then I'll say, you know what? Let's not talk about race. So the nation of Israel were not slaves in Egypt. The nation of Israel did not get set free from slavery in Egypt, and they did not fight the Canaanites, Hittites, Jebusites, Perizzites. They did not get taken into captivity by the Babylonians, and they were not overrun by the Romans. There's no centurions, there's no Samaritans. Matter of fact, at the end of the Bible, in New Heaven and New Earth, there's no every nation, tribe, and tongue. So if we get rid of ethnicity, we actually get rid of the Bible. The God of the universe wants to reconcile all people unto himself and to each other. And our ethnicity matters deeply.
Rather than the Christian worldview being something that's really expansive and huge, it makes it look very parochial and particular and local.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a good thing. Like, I don't think that makes the glory of God shine.
Is Thanksgiving dinner the time to talk to, Grunkle Jim about what he posted on Facebook? Probably not. Ephesians 4. Words need to fit the occasion.
I had similar thoughts, which is just like, if someone is antagonistic on this issue, maybe you don't need to talk to them.
Yeah, it's just not, it might not be your responsibility to talk to that person.
And that's not because it doesn't matter that they're wrong. It's just acknowledging the difference between our role and God's.
Yeah, that's good.
God has to convict of sin. We can witness, we can pray, but we don't need to bang our head on the wall.
Not only are we a body, but Jesus also refers to us over and over again that we are his friends, but we're also family.
You see problems and you want to help fix them immediately.
Which is a Christian impulse.
It's a good Christian impulse. And I think part of it's just kind of the way the world is set up, in the sense that everything is so immediate and fast, that I think some of the ways we want to address justice falls into the category of that immediate and fast and quick solutions. I don't see a lot of quick solutions happening in the Bible.
Let me say, I believe we live in a time now, and especially your generation and younger, that are, I don't want to be harsh in saying they're rejecting the gospel. I think they're rejecting churchianity, they're rejecting cultural Christianity, and they're rejecting the way we've always not handled this properly. And I don't blame them. I think that ought to be rejected. But the problem is the church is the only organization biblically that can really address this issue, because the curative is love.
I was just thinking about even the question being discipled on the topic of racism, or race and racism. I think for American citizens, every person who's born, we're discipled in some way on this topic of race and racism. And that was before Christ saved us.
God has let me see more than ever before how good he is, how faithful he is, that God says about his son, that we have a high priest who can be touched with the feelings of our infirmity. And God takes my tears and puts them in a bottle, Psalm 56, verse 8, and saves them until the day of remembrance. Every time I lose hair, and I've lost a lot, he takes and counts every strand of hair that I lose. He is so meticulously and intimately acquainted with everything that's happening in my life. So the emphasis is not on Bobby. The emphasis is on God.
Again, just sort of translating that back to the criminal justice system, there's no one in the system who I'm entitled not to love, who I can disfavor in the distribution of my love. That my obligation extends to the criminally accused, the criminally victimized, and the criminally convicted.
God never makes a promise in time that hasn't already fulfilled in eternity. You got it? So whatever he promises us, it's already there. It's already a reality.
We all need Jesus, period. It doesn't matter what situation we're in, minority, majority, white, black, multi-ethnic, mono-ethnic.
When you have churches that are known for things, they're byproducts of prayer.
Right.
We are the church that's known for ABC. We're the church that's known for XYZ. What would happen if your church, like when they saw your people out, because they've already been out in the community praying, when they see you, they're like, oh, that's that church that prays.
Just to make sure that we have a podcast with no clear answers or calls to action.
Ever helpful we are.
Yeah, so helpful.